Hello there. I love eggs all year round, but what makes eggs associated with Easter? I've been thinking about that recently, so I thought I'd share this quick little video with you about what I'd learned. Right now here in New Zealand, it's getting on for autumn, but most of our Western traditions are based on the Northern Hemisphere. And in the Northern Hemisphere, Easter is all about spring. In the early spring, the days get longer, the earth gets warmer, trees and plants start to bloom and bear fruit, so birds lay their eggs in spring, ready for the arrival of abundant food to feed the chicks when they hatch. And this is true of chickens too. Before the 1920s, the average farm hen would lay about 100 eggs per year, and most of these would be in the spring and summer. If you've eagerly awaited those first eggs from your pullets, you'll know how much a cause of celebration those first eggs of the season can be. The spring equinox, also known as the vernal equinox, is the day when the sun shines directly on the equator, so the northern and southern hemispheres get the same amount of the sun's rays, and the number of hours of daylight almost exactly equals the number of hours of darkness. After the spring equinox, the days start to get longer, indicating the imminent arrival of the fertility and abundance of summer. And so the spring equinox has been regarded as sacred since prehistoric times. So the association of eggs with a spring religious festival celebrating fertility is very ancient. Some of this probably carried over into early Christian traditions. But in today's Western world, Easter is always on the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. It wasn't always this way. The early Christians celebrated on the 14th day of the month of Nisan in the Hebrew calendar. That's the day of the Jewish Passover. But in the year 325 AD, the Emperor Constantine and the church leaders of the time decided that Easter should always be celebrated on a Sunday. Another reason for the association of eggs with Easter is that the period before Easter is a period known as Lent. That's a time during which it's forbidden to eat meat or any animal product, including eggs. At Easter, the ban ends, and all the accumulated eggs can be eaten. Of course, today at Easter, eggs are not just plain, but often beautifully decorated. The practice of decorating eggs as part of spring rituals is amazingly ancient. The oldest decorated egg that we know of is an amazing 60,000 years old. It's not a chicken egg. It's an ostrich egg. 2,500 years ago, the Zoroastrians painted eggs for their celebration of the spring equinox. In the 13th century in England, the villagers would bring payments of eggs to the lord of the manor or to the church, especially on Good Friday. The king, King Edward I, ordered 450 eggs to be decorated with gold leaf to be given as Easter presents. Some of the most beautifully decorated eggs today are pysankyet from the Ukraine. They are decorated using a process of writing on the egg with wax, then dyeing the unwaxed part of the shell, then repeating with more wax and a different coloured dye, and then again, slowly building up layers of different coloured patterns to achieve these amazing eggs. The most ornate and expensive eggs were almost certainly those in 19th century Russia. Tsar Alexander III decided to give his wife an ornamental egg for an Easter gift. It was made by the goldsmith Peter Carl Fabergé, and this first Fabergé egg was made of gold. On the outside is a white enamelled shell, and inside is pure gold yolk. The gold yolk opened too, and inside is a golden hen. The Tsar and his wife were so delighted that they continued to have Fabergé make a special egg every year, and he did so for nearly 50 years. If you don't have lots of money to spend on special jeweled eggs, you can decorate your eggs at home. There's lots of different methods, but for most of them you'll get the best results if you start with a white egg. But these days it's impossible to buy white-shelled eggs at New Zealand supermarkets. All of the commercial egg-laying hens in New Zealand are one of two varieties of hybrid hens that lay brown eggs. So in New Zealand, if we want to decorate our eggs at home, we need to have our own chickens that lay white eggs. Of course, if you have your own chickens, you can have not just hens that lay white eggs, but also hens that lay eggs with all different kinds of coloured shells: white, brown, cream, even blue. You can even get eggs with green shells. I explain how that happens in my video about eggshell colour. I love to have a variety of beautiful coloured eggs in my nest box, not just at Easter, but all year round. And that's why I have chickens in my garden. I hope you have some chickens in your garden too. They're so much fun. But if you don't, here's some video of the chickens that I've had in my garden over the years. I hope you enjoy watching them as much as I do. Thanks for watching this little video. Bye for now. See you next time.